Okay, so I just want to go over a quick demo trade I took, and the reason it was a demo trade and not a live trade was because we actually never broke structure, which is something that I need to see in order for my strategy to be followed. But I am happy to like look into this. I'll kind of go over what I'm talking about, and maybe back test further to see if maybe I don't always have to wait for a break of structure. So, but until I do that, until I see the effectiveness of not waiting for a break of structure and seeing if my win rate is, relatively the same or maybe even a bit higher, I'm not going to stray away from my trading plan. But anyway, on the daily, a little bit indecisive of what we wanted to do. We had already taken the previous daily high before market open, so we didn't have that as a target. We still, based on structure, are bullish on the weekly and the daily. Or excuse me, just on the daily. The weekly is technically, oh no, weekly's bullish too. So I didn't really pay too much attention to the weekly. I don't normally, just because I'm intraday trading. So, but the daily we are bullish based off of just purely structure. You could argue, of course, that we're inside of bearish fair value gaps, so that makes our decision a little bit tougher on where we want to see price go, and that was true. Still is true. We'll see what happens with the rest of the day here. But this trade would have played out had we taken it on a live. We did take it on a demo. Essentially, you can see traded inside of a 4-hour fair value gap, traded inside of a 1-hour fair value gap. So we had our higher time frame PD arrays that we always look for. So that was check one off of our strategy checklist. Then of course, like sweep, right? This low took out liquidity. And then we also had an additional sweep here. This low, this candle here took out liquidity, equal lows. And yeah. And on top of that, once liquidity was taken, you can see we shot up nicely with some good candles, right? Good distribution here. But what we didn't do is we didn't break structure until here. We didn't break structure until here. This candle here. And because we didn't break structure, I didn't enter in off of my live account. But you can see a nice clear inversion fair value gap that I could have put my limit order on. But I kept my limit order here because I wanted to make sure I got a fill. And then as you can see, very little drawdown before we shot up to my target was just the previous session high, London session high. So yeah, that was the trade. It had everything we needed to see except for a break of structure. And again, I'm gonna see like when I'm back testing, like how often this occurs where we don't get that break of structure, but it ends up playing out in our favor. Because when we see an inversion fair value gap like this, a lot of the times you probably won't get a break of structure. It's going to look like this, like a V, and there's not going to be like an up candle during this downtrend here where I could say, okay, once we break past this up candle, that's a break of structure. We don't have that here. So but yeah, that was the trade. I mean, where is, not that it matters because it's just a demo trade, but right, just to show that I was actively taking this trade. But yeah,